Nisa Ghul here. I was raised in the forest by my dad. After my mother died, my father taught me everything about hunting, cooking, finding things to make medicines, and basically how to defend myself. While hunting one day, we were attacked by the bear. It killed my father in front of me, leaving me completely alone. I ran away as fast as I could, coming across a cave where I tripped and fell, hitting my head. When I awoke, I was surrounded by a pack of wolves. Thinking they were going to kill me, I tried to get up and leave, only to have the leader come up to me and drop some meat by my hand and nudge it forward with her nose. That's when I realized they were just trying to help, while another two curled up around me to keep me warm. I then went on to live with these beautiful creatures for many years, until it was time for me to part ways. As a parting gift, the leader of the pack pushed forward the small cub who had become infatuated with me, as if to say, "He is your companion now. He will take care of you when he is old enough." Jeeves has been by my side ever since. I finally ventured into a village nearby where I used to live, only to meet Sout, who then became my best friend, with whom I did take under my wing, taught him things that he needed to know. Sadly, he went down the wrong path, in which I had to end his life.
Who am I? Who are you? Why do I need to introduce someone as formidable as myself? My reputation precedes me, after all. You should already know who you're talking to. No? Fine. You may refer to me as Artificer Ethelfin Ypres Yasfer Davidmore, protege of blade masters and armorers from the four corners of the Telkasir, and notable craftsman in his own right. Do not touch the construct. She is a delicate mechanism of such exquisite work that your ogling dirties her grandeur. She has instructions to dismember too, so mind your fingers. And yes, I am patronaged by House Talinder, thank you very much. Not that you asked. I travelled the highest echelons of elven society, so you will use my full name and title in the formal setting. Outside of which you may of course call me Artificer Daywinmore. Propriety must be maintained after all. What do you mean, what am I doing out here? I'm perfecting my craft. Whatever misunderstanding you've heard is scurrilous lies. There is always room to innovate and perfect after all, and one can't do so within the strictures of one society. Ideas can get stale, don't you know? Indeed, one day, Avatas, that's the construct, will be a shining, glorious centerpiece of the Telkasir's artistic and technological achievement. And it won't be thanks to just elven technology. No, there are many other disciplines that you blink lives may have some small knowledge of and that I can perfect. We elves are long-lived after all, but through this construct, I will achieve true immortality. No, I am not begging for coin. I have a highly placed sponsor within House Talinder. Why would I need coin? I was calibrating her load-bearing joints and placed my overcoat beside me because it is a sunny day. I can be hardly blamed if people throw coin at me. They are making assumptions. What do you mean, move along? Ordinance against begging? Are you serious? Take your hands off me. Do you know who I... Avatas, that was highly inappropriate. Thank you, dear. Get the overcoat. Leave the guard.
My name is Vanimelda. I am part of the Tarsali Asir. Ever since I was a young girl, I was under constant pressure as the next matriarch of my tribe. Learning about the world, having all manners of education, being groomed and molded to be the priestess. Also being sent to all different high houses to learn and network. I excelled at sword training, but that might have been partly due to the connection I had developed with Neveril, my dark elf swordmaster. Respect turned to admiration and admiration turned to love. For a while, everything was perfect. We were in love. He started teaching me about his culture and his goddess Elistrai. Then the day came when I found out I was to be a mother. I was excited, blessed, and thrilled. When my twin babies were born and I held them in my arms for the first time, I have never felt so much love. I went to sleep and I felt untouchable. And I woke up to reality. Everything was gone. My children, Neveril, my swordmaster, My mother had dealt with them. Since then, I have vowed to work harder than ever before to truly become the most notable matriarch of my tribe and change this barbaric way of thinking. Mothers losing their children over such matters will never happen again. I carry Neferel's sword with me always, so I will never forget the injustice that happened to me, the motivator to always get better.
Tig! I am Tig. Tig Wild Elf. Big and strong, like tree. One day, met big walking tree. Easy to talk with big tree. Shook arms, and big walking tree gave me his arm. Arm gift. We friends now. Arm best friend. Walking tree sound grumpy, but gave arm? Must be tired. Tig take arm on walks and make big and strong like Tig. One day, family go off for trade. Tig go for walk with arm. Come back to find house traded for dirt and ash. Where did house go? Family in dirt where house was. Family all sleeping? Tig try to wake them, but they stay sleeping. Covered in dirt and black bubble bits. Why? Tig smell cooking. Tig hungry. Tig go for very long walk with arm to find food. Tig and arm walk very far. Not know how long. Man asked Tig to keep safe small elf and friend. End up on boat with Nisa and Music Man. But they not strong. Tig and arm must teach and take for walk. All go to place with tiny tribe. Very small. Do job for tiny tribe. Tig use shiny round metal for school. Arm and Tig met nice tiny person. She make candy. Candy help Tig talk good. Tiny tribe are nice people. Found new home. Tig and Arm found new family. Then Music Man hurt tiny tribe. Arm and Tig go fix. No one hurt tiny tribe. No one hurt Tig family. Tig arm torn off, but Tree Arm help Tig. Tree Arm now part of Tig forever. Music Man smush now. Tig keep Nisa safe. We go find Apple Sprite now. Shiny rock. Did good?
Hi guys, and welcome to our 6th episode of Chapter 2, our D&D game. Today with us we have Shrogril as Tig. We have Tater Queen as Nissa. We have Castellan as Aethelfin.
Hey guys, how's it going?
We have Smolkoy as Liam. And we have Che 3D as Vanny. So to start us off, as per usual, we'll get a rundown of our last session. So, can we get, from your perspective, Aethelfin, what happened in the last little while here?
Alright, so this is fairly simple. I was arrested for potential heretical entanglements and was ushered into a side room where my construct was poked and prodded, and lots of humming and hawing was made about it. And then I was basically told to play along with a deception the council wanted to enact, which was basically they wanted to see how my friends would behave under certain circumstances. The last thing that Aethelfin heard was basically that he was on trial and the potential penalty he'd be facing would be death for killing someone, which was patently not true. the trial progressed, and he was found innocent in return for considerations by the rest of the team. He did, however, hear everything that was said and got quite in a huff about the way that people think about him. And they then returned to their quarters, had a shower, got changed, etc., had a few little moments, sort of detailing this stuff. Returned to the chamber, sat in front of the council, and basically cut a deal with them. Aethelfin took the lead on this negotiation and basically said, well, we can offer you plausible deniability in return for help chasing down a church that is continuously struck by lightning. The floor was cleared by some power behind the throne type figure, who proceeded to basically say, I need you to go find some people that stole some documents from me. And then when you find out who's responsible for that, I need you to go destroy their guild house. Which will be very interesting to see how that progresses. We agreed, had some misgivings about the whole conversation afterwards, whereupon Aethelfin took most of the team aside, apart from our good new friend Liam, who's a good horn boy, and basically said, yeah, I don't trust these people. They set me up and they set you up before. They are clearly planning something. We need to be on our guard. And also, I don't like the fact that after we complete this mission, we need to go into a small room away from everyone else where no one can see us to basically hand over the goods and complete the transaction. Part of which is also a replacement arm for Aethelfin, so Aethelfin's incentivized, to say the least. And yeah, basically this is the Aethelfin show, and everything Aethelfin cares about has been spoken of so far. We then got a small child, I think, to guide us into the epidermal layer of the Colossus that we're currently in. Or we're going to get a smaller child to do that and take us down into the feet of the Colossus where most of the waste is thrown. And we have to leave our magical items behind, or at least those things that we could consider to be dangerous, because apparently they have anti-magic fields or some such down there. That just about rounded off.
Close enough.
Did I miss anything, anyone?
And for the opposite side of this view,
what did I miss?
Liam Nava, can you please?
Your construct scared
Guys,
everyone.
am I not being heard?
I don't recall when this happened.
Am I not being
you
heard
don't
here?
recall when it lifted Vanny up like this
I'm gonna
and
mute
was going
both
to
of you,
stab her?
and that's going to fix that problem right now. There we go. All right. So now, Liam Nava, could you please give us your rundown of the previous session?
Why me? I'm being bullied here.
Oh.
So, Liam witnessed the one-armed man struggle to get changed and then be very mean to everyone, including his construct, who was just, ragdolling people around everywhere like a big, horrible giant person. He enacted part 6 of his 10-step sneaky plan. Then we went to go and acquire supplies after meeting with the council and meeting a spooky man that I don't like. When we were acquiring supplies, there was a very long-winded, long drawn-out conversation that basically resulted in us grabbing some supplies from a boy who doesn't really like us now very much, I think. But, I'll sweet talk him later, fix all that. Aethelfin's spooky construct terrified about 30 to 40 people, about a quarter of the general populace of this part of the Colossus. Not a good move, but, he couldn't really help it, so I don't really blame him. And then we had to prepare to go down the inner skin of the Colossus, which is really gross and super compact, and I'm a little claustrophobic, so I'm not too excited about it. But it's gonna be good.
Okay, I'm gonna turn Vanny and Aethelfin back up, and hopefully
Sorry, I'm sorry.
There
There were a lot of other important conversations had as well, but we didn't finish them, so we'll fix that.
I'm gonna turn Vanny and Aethelfin back up. Either my push talk's not working, or you guys are just talking over the DM a lot. If it's talking over the DM, there'll be much more muting.
Boss?
I was having trouble hearing Kyle.
I
I
can't hear anything.
I don't hear anything
All
from
right.
his end either.
So you're not
Is he
hearing
talking?
anything I'm saying
Oh.
right now?
Oh,
now
no,
we
yeah.
We do.
There you go.
All right. So my push to talk's busted. Now, guys, I have push to talk on because they've decided to reroute planes over my house lately. I don't want to have that sound through an open mic. But if my push talk's not working, because like I muted both Aethelfin and Vanny there because I'd asked them like 4 or 5 times to stop talking, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, that's because we didn't hear you.
Well, yes, that's what I've just explained. So I'm gonna turn off push to talk, and I'll just try to mute it if the planes make everything a bit too loud. Oh, goody. All right, let's have a look at this.
I suppose it's a bit too finicky to have to turn off the microphone all the time as well.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've had to leave it open just so I can handle and control rowdy players.
They should have a
No, it's
they
fine.
should have a plugin that allows you to do like a cough button.
So, anyways, firstly, the person that you was told would be coming to see you to take you down to Colossus was not a small child. It's like a 17-year-old guy. He's more adult. The contact you had was a child, though. So, at the moment, at the doors. Thanks, Urban. At the door to your room, a guys open the door and be like, "All right, are we ready to go?" And we sort of ended it there. I think the last thing he said, magic doesn't work. And is that where you emptied your backpack, Nisa?
Yes.
Okay, so there's just shit all over the floor. Okay.
I'm gonna tidy it away, put it back in the backpack, and then just put the backpack in the corner before we leave. Obviously, I'm not
Okay.
gonna leave a pile of shit on the floor. But
So,
yes.
as Mum cleans in the corner, you have the guy sitting there. He's and I honestly can't remember his voice. My throat's killing me today, so voices are going to be a little less ranged out. Sorry. Payment. Has anyone discussed this with you yet?
No. But what would you guys like? How much?
Well, apparently we're taking you down to the disposal chambers, and that's
Yeah, that's it.
it's not an easy way to get in. Even harder to get out.
That's why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we paying you?
So
to help
looks
us?
around. Sees what you've got. Well, I know at least one of you is incredibly wealthy. So I feel like 15,000 gold pieces is enough.
I stop and I'm like, excuse me, please let's not discuss this with you. Let's discuss this with your father, the one who is helping us.
I'm the one taking you down, so you're going to discuss it with me. I have to find the route. I'm the one in danger, so I get to discuss the price.
Just a quick question. What actually makes you think that we're rich, or one of us is? Is it because of all of our stuff? Because we've acquired that after hunting and finding it around the place.
One of you walked
Tig's
into
just
the
gonna point
city,
to Aethelfin.
and then he nods at Tig. One of you walked into the city with a construct that is far, far more expensive than anything we've ever seen.
I'm just gonna look at
people have
Aethelfin.
told me that it's made of mithril. It looks like it's mithril through and through, which puts its cost in the hundreds of thousands, at least. You can spare this small sum.
How much for construct arm?
Just nothing from Aethelfin at all. He's just watching this entire exchange.
Hey, now hold on here. What makes you think he bought it?
Do you think he... Okay, well, then how did he get it? He made it, yes? He had to get the mithril from somewhere.
Why don't you
Yes.
ask him that question?
Well, I'm asking the group that question, and your apparent
We
artificer
don't-
is not saying a word, so either he's stupid or he does not want to go through with this.
Vanny just goes up and she's like, you know what? I'm going to be talking to your father if you're going to rip us off like this. That's ridiculous.
Vanny, no. I'm gonna look at Aethelfin. Can you please answer this man's question so we can get on with what you've agreed for us to do, please?
I'm just gobsmacked with the sheer temerity of this young man. 15,000 gold pieces is a sum that you would pay a royal family for a favor. What makes you think we can't simply find a competitor and get a better price?
Because we run this. You can't get anywhere without us knowing. So you can... I think your large friend had the right idea. You give us the arm, maybe we'll take a few feathers as well. We can always renegotiate the price in a upwards fashion if you continue to be stubborn.
As a slightly better idea, how about we renegotiate for a much better price and no one else on the rest of this enormous Colossus gets to find out about your little scheme?
Like who?
Do you have any idea who you're even talking to?
That's some idea.
She just like puts her arms right in it.
You wouldn't come to us asking to go down there for no reason.
I tell you what, I would be willing to pay you a single feather from my construct for your services. That is the extent of it. Because let's face it, it's probably more money than you've ever seen in your life. And before you get any smart ideas about thinking about taking the rest out once we're down there, or leaving us to die, you should know that this construct is fully sentient and able to reason. Aren't you, Avatas? And I believe I haven't shut her down just yet, because I believe I stated that would be before we go. But I'm going to look over and see if there's some kind of reaction.
You left Avatas in the staterooms, which is when you shut her down.
Right, okay. I was under the impression we were still in that room.
Nope, you
The,
are in a
private room.
very, very small room in a tavern bar. So you are...
Yeah, but this is what I meant. I thought we'd turned her off in this room to the side because we all went up there and discussed everything.
No, you wouldn't have fit.
I wouldn't have...
No, you left her. You had to. When you found out it was anti-magic, you left her in the staterooms.
Okay, I need you to describe to me exactly the order of events because I am confused.
We found out about the anti-magic in this small room because that's where I emptied out my backpack.
No, you
Sorry.
found out about the anti-magic elsewhere,
we
didn't
found
you?
out in this small room because
Was
he
it
told
here?
us to go up into the room.
No,
so we
it
went
was
up
there,
into the
it was
room,
there.
and then he was like,
Okay.
"Oh, by the way, where we're going is anti-magic." So
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because
Oh,
my
that-
recollection of events was we went to that room. All right, sorry.
Okay. Sorry. My notes say something slightly different. If that's my mistake, that's my mistake. But my notes say that you found out about the anti-magic somewhere else. That's fine. So, if Avatas is there, and you haven't shut her down, she will just tilt her head towards you, and that's it.
I think that this is a fair price, given that it is a sum that would absolutely give you, well, let's say, opportunities heads and shoulders above your your peers.
Hmm.
And who knows, a smart young man like you, who knows a good deal and when to take one, can probably go far in life with a bit of capital behind him.
And if you're looking for an appraisal on the price of the feather itself, I mean, we're happy to wait until you find a more capable artificer than either of us, however long that's going to take.
Also, this young man, I believe, is involved with one of the major guilds here. Not a bad person to know if you've got aspirations in life.
He sort of takes a minute to think. Tell you what, you stay right here, and I'll be back in a moment. And he turns, shuts the door, and you hear a bolt slide into place, and he walks downstairs.
10 gold, he's going to get some kind of authority figure to arrest us.
Ethelfin,
Yes, Tig.
when you get back, you get arm. For you. Why not give arm of Nisa to him? We go, you stay, come back, you get arm, she get arm back.
I think I understood what you were saying, and the answer is I would never mar her perfection that way.
Mom.
I wouldn't break her.
He doesn't want to cause a boo-boo for her. He loves her.
I thought you sort of turned like pinching the bridge of his nose, just like,
Yes, boo.
I'm sure Granny and my boo boo.
And I take her for him, like, give her a little kiss. No boo-boo.
Liam's going to turn to Ethelfin and say, so where is all of your money?
in investments.
You get this knock on the door, and the bolt slides out of. Okay, take you down for 5 feathers.
2 feathers, and I owe you a favor.
3 and it's
Yeah, Edelman's just halfway like, listen.
3, and he nods at you, Liam.
Liam looks up at Ethelfin. It's fair.
Yes, I suppose it is. And he will turn and go over to Avatas and find the 3 smallest feathers on the construct he can find.
Before Ethelfin goes and does that, Liam puts a hand on his shoulder and just raises 1 finger.
What?
Just 1 feather.
Okay, out of character, I have no idea what just happened then. We negotiated for 3, or did I mishear that? Because I've been getting audio jumbles.
You're
coming in and out.
you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, we negotiated for 3. Just give him 1 now and the other 2 when we get back. If we don't make it back safe, it's his fault, right?
That's a good point. We agreed to 3. I'll give you 1 now and 2 when we return safely.
The guy sort of just rolls his eyes and holds out his hand.
Yeah, he finds the smallest feather on Avatas and like whispers an apology as he removes it very, very gently, and then just sort of almost hesitates for a second and then puts the thing in his hand. It's pure mithril. You can get it appraised by anyone and they'll tell you the same.
So you said your construct was sentient and it's powered by magic, yes?
I never said it was powered by magic, my boy.
No, but you did say it was sentient, and most constructs are, so stop fucking with me and just answer the questions.
I just did. It is sentient, but it's not necessarily powered by magic. I have been working on a purely mechanical mind.
Okay, don't care. Let's everyone out the room with the property they don't want damaged.
They don't want damage.
Yep.
Avitas?
You're gonna leave it in the hallway?
No, I assume you have somewhere safe to place
No,
it.
we're gonna spell lock the room.
If I don't want it damaged and I leave it in this room, it'll be fine, yes?
Should be.
Fine.
Alright, so you'll leave the room?
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to be...
Okay, so you all leave the room. You hear him start muttering something. Pardon? Nisa?
I was just gonna say, Aethelfin did shut down his construct, right?
Yeah, once we're actually leaving, he would do that. He would leave the drift globe in her hand and leave her with instructions that if she should awaken and I not be present there to awaken her, she's to defend herself. And if I don't return within several days, she's to seek me out.
Okay,
And
cool. So
before leaving the room, Liam's
Mhm.
gonna quickly write up like essentially a really small IOU contract, like I owe you one favor of a reasonable sum, and sign it and hand it to the kid.
Okay. Kid pockets it, and then he takes his hand and he dips it in a chalk and he starts like making a rune on the door. As he does it, you sort of mostly you, Liam, feel this sort of pulling towards the rune, and it's a very unpleasant sensation.
Hey, what is that?
It's just a minor copy of what we've seen downstairs.
Interesting.
And
And I
then-
will inspect the rune, try to get some kind of idea of what it actually is.
Then he
Liam steps away from it.
closes the door, and it's on the inside of the door, by the way. As he closes the door, you hear a slight tearing noise and a whole bunch of clattering. He then slides the bolt into place, puts a lock on it, and has the key in his pocket. Alright then,
Shall we?
let's go. And he leads you back down through the bar, where you see the father just sort of smile and nod to you.
Vanny wants to just walk up to the father and thank him for giving us a discount for just 3 mithril feathers.
Yes. Just 3. Go on then.
So I walk up to the father and I'm like, I just want to thank you for your discount. You have given us a good price with 3 mithril feathers, and I'm assuming that everything that was said above was correct with your son.
I don't know what he said. He's the one that sets the rules for this. He is the guide, and he will take you down there.
Okay. Thank you. But regardless, thank you for your help.
No problem. Go on then. As you guys leave, you sort of see that he leads you out the front, then down the side of the tavern, and you sort of see a small, like, makeshift, like, shed out back where there's a few things stored. He unlocks it, goes in, he drags a few things aside, and you can see they have managed to wear away a panel on the inside of this, like, the cheek of the Colossus. And he pries it away, and you get...
Yep, I'll go inside.
It is dark. Have you got dark vision?
Yes.
No, I'm a sun elf, so I imagine I do.
If elves do, you
Could be
do.
wrong.
Everyone
Uh,
have dark vision?
Liam steps inside and his sort of golden eyes turn a gleaming white as he looks around.
Okay.
I like when they have like the night vision night vision things where you see like the retinas.
Yeah. So, the boy then reaches out, drags the grate back in place. Right. Well, it was pretty simple to get down most of the way. We just follow a set of stairs, and he gets us down to pretty much alongside the experimentation chambers, and then we got to get in there, and from there you have to make your way down one of the chutes into the disposal areas. Now, there's some experimentation chambers that aren't used a whole lot, but I'm going to leave a rope tied into the chute, and then I'm going to hide. I'm going to come back in 4 hours. If you're not back, or if that rope is gone, our deal's off.
Understandable.
We're doing this at the dead of night. Usually there's no one down here doing too much at this time, but just in case. Like, if I call down and there's no response, you're out of time. Last chance to turn around.
I think we're all in agreement.
Okay.
Roughly.
And he starts leading you down. As you go, you see that there's some places where there's actually quite large areas, almost the size of some of the guild halls in the layers, where, like, you know, there's effectively the magical housing that allows the joints to move, but around that, like, almost shanty towns have popped up with, like, hanging houses and other things around the place where they've just packed in all these people. And it's why there's almost no homeless, like, within the Colossus. They're all outside in that little area. They're the people that have managed to get into it and then have lost their money while in there and never really left. They just found a way to live on the fringes. You also notice that there's lots and lots of massive spider webs. As you go down, it starts to get... You find that there's less and less houses. There's more accumulated just signs of age and wear and tear, where less people have sort of been down here to actually do repairs. And Liam, and probably Aethfin as well, you sort of notice that, like, from about the knee down, this thing has not been looked after very much.
Yeah, I think he's just making idle comments, probably just to Liam because he's the only person who listens / cares. It's like, oh, that's a shoddy piece of work there. That hasn't been maintained in at least 100 years. Rah, 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 rah. You know, just sort of listing off all the issues that he sees.
Mm-hmm.
And Liam's just politely, like, hands behind his back, stood up straight, at ease, nodding along with a smile.
The lead, or the guide, doesn't really say a whole lot. You know, he's ducking under a few things and he's squeezing into gaps. He's just making sure you're behind him, and he doesn't really say much. He's keeping up quite a pace. He wants to get you guys down there as soon as possible because he doesn't want to be caught down here, really at all. But he wants to make sure you guys get in and out of the experimentation chambers while it's still nightfall. So after about probably an hour, because you're all climbing up and downstairs to get into the right place, you find yourself what you'd expect to be the foot / lower shin. And he's like, alright, other side, this metal plate, or really any of the plates around here we can prize free. You'll find the experimentation chambers. Now, usually this is where the mages do their dangerous work. So, you know, just be careful. Sometimes they leave ongoing effects overnight while they sleep to see how it, progresses. There can be some very odd occurrences. Weather changes, things that aren't there. Just be warned and follow closely, okay? And he sort of sits there and starts twisting effectively a giant bolt loose. And he
Liam's gonna reach into his belt and slide out one of his daggers and offer it to the kid holding it by the blade. It's not much, but just in case.
he sort of sits there and pulls up his shirt, and you can see that he's got three daggers on one side, and they're all made in a way that the grip is down, so they can be drawn and thrown in like a very quick flick of the wrist. You don't have to lift the shirt, pull them up.
This
I think
kid knows what's
Aethelfin
up.
through this entire exchange just nudging Venny and like kind of like, see, they're armed.
So he pulls the thing aside, and like, all right, go in, hug the right wall, stay low, because the top half of this is glass, and as you peek in, you see this light filtering down. You can see that there's like a stone wall up to about waist height, and then it's like a glass box, and you can almost feel power radiating out from it if you have any sort of magical inclination.
Yeah, cool.
What's the
Just
marching
file in
order?
after them?
Liam's gonna turn to Nisa and say, Miss, forgive me if I'm wrong, but looking at your equipment, exploration is your specialty?
Yeah, it is. I guess I will go first then.
Okay.
Yes,
After
and I
you.
think myself and yourself should go afterwards, followed by Vanny and Tig. As I've seen these plays before, they always come for the one at the back of the party first.
The kid sort of looks at you. Hey, he looks at you, Liam. Good luck.
Thanks. And he gives a sort of sympathetic nod and waves off the kid.
So you all make your way in, and you can see there's actually a person working around what looks to be a solid piece of crystalline darkness, and he's shaving a bit off, and you can see there's damage to things in the room, and it's almost like a perfect circle has been cut out of objects. And he gets this, like, as he's going through, if you just like, I don't know if you're going to attempt to look or not. Are you going to try to get an idea of what he's doing? He's got his back to you at the moment.
I'm gonna try and sort of look around him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see what he's doing.
He's
I'm not.
he's sort of got this thing in his hand, and he's like very carefully in the air, like, cutting it, and then puts it down, takes a very small piece of it, and you see rise up after about 30 seconds a flickering orb of just black, and he sort of like concentrates, and it just moves forward in the air, and as it touches the table, the piece of table just disappears, but then almost immediately it goes out like it was unstable. And you hear him like, damn it! How did that stupid man do it? It almost destroyed. I need to be able to replicate that. And then he goes back to shaving away more of this dark crystal.
We heard all that, yeah? That wasn't just
Yep.
Nisa and whoever looked?
That was, everyone heard it, but only the ones that looked saw what he was doing.
Do I get certain vibes of this?
Oh god, yes!
I'm gonna lightly tap him on the shoulder. Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?
He's in a glass box. You can't just tap him on the shoulder.
Okay, well then I guess I'm going to slightly panic.
What is
Okay.
your problem?
So I
Takes her just back. It's okay. It's
If you
okay,
don't-
Nisa.
if you don't mind me
Hello.
flavoring this for a second, I sort of get the idea of Mrs. like just peeked her head up to see it, and then just slowly stood completely up, jaw dropped, and that's when Aethel's be like, "What are you doing? Snap out of it!" Because you were trying to like contact this guy and be like, "Hey, let's have a conversation about what you're doing."
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
turn
think-
around and just look at Aethelfin.
What?
Soot?
What do you mean he's dead?
He's the guy, and I point to the boy. I was like, he's cutting this thing, and it made a black orb that floated in the sky, and then it touched the table, and the table disappeared. And
Okay,
then
I think as she's like saying all this, Aethel just sort of does the same thing, stands up, mouth open, like the two elves are both looking. It's like, oh god.
He seems pretty enthralled in his work right now, but he starts like moving around and collecting other pieces of equipment in the room. So he is moving about a bit more now, and he might notice you at any moment.
I'm just gonna keep looking at him with my mouth just like.
I'm just.
James at the
I
back
just
of this
listen.
pew, trying to waiting like.
Yeah,
Let's go.
the boy at
Let's
the
go
back, you
before he
hear
notices.
whisper to you, Vanny, and he's like, "If they don't stop moving, I'm leaving. Come on."
Liam's going to take a hold of Nisa's hand in his left and take his hand in his right and give like two little sharp tugs and says, "That kind of magic is everywhere here. We have to keep moving."
Okay. I'm just gonna.
Aethel's still just like staring, like, and like idly moving towards the
Nissa's-
crossbow.
Hey, roll
If
a.
Nissa's not gonna move,
Hold up. Whoa. Roll a arcane check. Liam.
Why me? I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's the whole point. Just roll.
because you're magical.
Hey, you know what would help if my roll 20 didn't just completely crash?
You do that while these guys are moving on. So you start.
It's +2. Roll it for me.
Yeah, easy. Boop. This type of magic is not everywhere. Like, you sort of set it to move them along, and you thought, I'll just have a quick feel of what this is. You're like, odd, but that's about it.
I know it's not everywhere. I garnered that based on the description. I lied to them.
I know, but you also, I didn't know if you'd like looked at it and been like, this type of magic is like, you know, destructive magic or is whatever. Still, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Aethelfin the whole time has been slowly reaching for his crossbow.
Okay,
I
well,
think he's like pulling it up and like, right.
well, with your hand tied up in a, you know,
That's a good point.
in his hand, you're not drawing.
I haven't
nothing.
even got one hand.
So, anyways, you guys move off.
Cursing and trying to lock it.
Yep. You find yourself pointed towards a door. It's like just go through there. Alright, there should be no one in those chambers. They had an accident. And then on the far side of that, we can go down this one, but it's right next to these guys. On the far side of that should be another one of these, and hopefully we can just use that one. And it's far enough away we won't be heard. Just, you know, if you fall, don't scream.
Yes, I'll
Right.
try.
So,
You go safest way.
Nissa, you open up the door and you just see all the glass is shattered and all the stonework is crumpled and there's dents in all the outer walls where like some sort of explosion has happened in this room. There's also, you know, a few pieces of people embedded in areas, shards of bone and whatnot from something. The whole area smells slightly burnt.
She's going to go and sort of pick a couple of pieces up and put them in her pouch for, like, you know, things can't waste them.
Sure.
That's what she does.
What are you doing?
Priestess Fanny, do you remember the favor I asked of you in exchange for the sword?
I do.
Would it be alright for me to cash in that favor in advance? I may need it now.
It's in my room.
Liam's going to reach into his pouch and pull out parchment and charcoal. Just a quick blessing, if you would. Very, very brief.
All right, I take it out and I write a prayer real quick there.
Mm-hmm.
And Liam takes a hold of it, rolls it up, and puts it like in a very easy to access front pouch of his coat, and then gives Vani a very, very deep bow. Thank you very much. This will come in great help.
Okay.
Are we done here?
Yes. Sorry.
Tig, just roll me. What's your stealth? It's more that because you're a bit of a lumbering idiot that this needs a stealth check, where you're already trying to be quiet, but you're pulling pieces out of a wall.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Making sure it's +2.
Plus
+2. Cool. All right.
That's great.
Okay, it's not +3. You say?
No, I said please no natural one.
Oh, okay. So you walk up and like you pull a piece out there and makes out of the wall, and it makes like a little noise, and it's like everyone's in the room just like stops, and she just keeps going as it creaks. And that's what makes a little small thunk as it comes through. And then at that point, I guess Nisa's at the far end, opening the next door. You walk in, and there's a very, very aged clerk in this room, packing up a bunch of papers, and he seems to be taking them from the inside of the glass chamber to outside the glass chamber. And inside the glass chamber, you can see now that because you came in here to have a look, you can see in the floor there's a grate that can be slid aside. Nissa, you're first in. Now will be the time to roll a stealth check, please.
I can roll a stealth check. 1 second.
All of us, or just Nissa?
Well, she's the first one in. It's the order of being
25.
Holy crap.
Nice.
So you sort of move in, and you see this old clerk, and he just sort of he walks into the chambers with his back to you as you sort of edge in and stay low. Do you do or say anything, or you just keep going?
I'm just gonna.
Yep. Okay.
attempt to just keep going.
Okay. Who was next? Liam.
Yep.
All right. You recognize this clerk as you move in. Who goes back to you? I'll get a roll a stealth check anyway. But he's a very, very old artificer who sort of started to. People think he's a little bit special in his old age, so he mostly does collects the paperwork and files it together to give he just does the administrative sort of work for the younger artificers.
Liam sees him and sort of panics about being found here, and in his panic, his horns just sort of flare up. They're wrapped in that fire, and without even thinking about it, just subconsciously, he's going to spend a sorcery point for subtle casting so that it happens without noise. He's gonna sleep this man.
Okay. I believe that doesn't even get a save. So, what you do is you just see the
what happens.
See the
he
guy.
walks as he goes to creep through the door, and as he sees the guy, he just sort of in shock is bolt upright, and then the spell is already out. It's gone.
Okay, so Nissa's creeping in, and you, Nissa, who is sort of watching this guy, make sure you're not seen, just see him sort of sit there, and he's oh, alright, yeah. He holds up papers, he's glaring, this close to I can't read it properly, and he puts them together, and you hear that sort of sound of files, of papers on the table, and then you just watch him just fall to the side as his legs give out, and his head just smacks off the table, hits the floor, and he just stays there. And you just hear this old man like try air through the throat, like sort of snoring.
And Liam just like holds out both of his hands and is like, no, I'm so sorry. Shh.
Ethelfin comes up, pats him on the shoulder. Yeah,
Well,
that was
that
an
solves
efficient
that
way to
problem.
solve the problem.
Yeah, I walk in just confidently and I'm like, good job.
I didn't mean
Let's
it.
press on, shall we?
The kid, or the young man, walks up and he's like, all right, well, shit. He's gonna know something happened here. What? I guess there's not much for it. And he opens the grate and then starts dragging the guy towards the hole.
Whoa, wait, what are you doing?
We can't be found out. You expected to
He
get
just
through
fell
this
asleep.
completely
He's
clean?
old.
Well,
Yeah,
just
so he's old and he fell asleep, or he just tripped down the hole. It's fine, and he keeps pulling him towards the hole.
Liam's just gonna like sort of pull on his glove and point 2 fingers at the kid and just stand there. If you put him in that hole, you're going with him.
What are you doing?
You realize that you can't get out of here without us.
We don't want to die either.
He just
I
fell
think-
asleep. I'm sure he'll just think that he had a hard day and he did a little bit too much and he fell asleep. I do it sometimes.
Listen, if we're in and out before he wakes up, then we're good. He doesn't have to know we're here. He'll wake up and see no one around him, and we haven't taken any papers. Nothing much has changed.
Fine.
That-
Look, I'm sure this thing you've done doesn't last that long, right? And he sits there and he ties a rope around the very, very heavy desk that's in the corner, and he sits there and he like pulls with all his strength on it, and it doesn't move an inch. Like, does anyone else want to try to see if this is gonna break? Are you happy with the knot? And he throws the rope down the hole.
Seems
I
sturdy
should be
enough.
okay with that.
All right, look. I've sent a couple people down here. Well, our family has sent a couple people down here. We usually give it about a 25% survival rate.
We know the risks. We have to
Okay.
hurry. He's gonna wake up pretty soon, and you don't want to be in the room when he does.
Let the man finish talking. He's
Alright.
warning us.
Just usually people that come back with burns and their metal objects are damaged, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Off you go.
Thank you for the warning.
Who wants to do who's going firstly, and then we'll go climb checks with advantage because you got rope in a narrow thing. You can brace yourself pretty well. It's
Not to handicap myself, but I have one arm. I feel if I've got an advantage for that, I should at least just be rolling normally.
No, well, the idea is you can place your feet against one side of the chute and brace your back against the other, so you'll get an advantage anyway. It's just that if you should fall,
Alright.
you might have a bit more trouble catching yourself.
Yep. All right.
Who's going
Tig
first?
I
will
guess
go
I'll go.
first. Tig will go first so that if anybody falls, she can try and catch.
Okay. How long do you want to wait before the next person goes? And who's next?
Maybe give it a 10 count.
Okay. Tig! Let's have a look at your climb check, shall we? It is... Oh, sorry. Athletics. Oh, my lord. You'll be fine.
Oh no, athletics.
With a natural 20, you just watch Tig sort of hold onto the rope, and she waves to you, and she just slides down it, and you can sort of hear the burning on her hand, but she's giggling the entire way.
Like that cord sound that you get
Yeah,
when
that.
you're ziplining.
Yeah. But that's her
I guess
skin.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'm gonna make this face. I'm just gonna make ugh as I go up to the rope and I go down the hole.
All right. Climb check or athletics check with advantage. That's not great. That's a bit better. You fall a little. You catch yourself. It's not so bad. What's your strength? Your strength is
15.
15. Yeah. Okay. So you sort of like, it's not that you're like, oh, the rope's just like your feet slipped out from you. It's like, oh god, shit. Okay. Whew. Be careful. And you was just a bit careless, but you get down, but you don't ever really catch sight of Tig because she sort of just slid to the bottom. Who's next?
I'll be going last.
All right, me up next.
Let's check this athletics.
18 flat because I have no bonus.
Yep, cool. You make it down just fine. You find it easy just to like plant your feet, get you back there. I don't know how good you are with like heights and having just like what's effectively a bottomless pit below you. But like after a while you're sort of like, okay, I've got this. And you get down there.
He's got a bit of a nervous determination about him.
Yep.
I
Me,
gesture
I'm sailing.
invitingly to Vanny to go ahead.
I
After you,
walk
my
up.
dear.
Go on then. Oh, buddy. You just sort of see him, and he's like, okay. I see her. She walks up. She's like, okay, and she places her feet against the walls and starts to play like lean forward before she's finished grabbing the rope, and you just watch her feet slide out as she's into the darkness, and you just watch her disappear.
Can I attempt to grab her as she falls with my one arm?
You can make an athletics or acrobatics is what you want.
Alright. I will make an acrobatics.
Sure. You leap forward to catch her.
Falling down the chute.
Alright, you catch her, and you just hear the sound of her bang off the chute really loudly. And the guy that's with you sort of just grabs the back of your robes and stabilizes you. He's like, be careful. Alright.
Yes. Are you all right down there, Vanny?
All right enough. Thank you.
Please grasp the rope and ready yourself because my grip is slipping, and I have only one arm with which to
You
hold
heard this noise as well, Liam. You see him just like, you see Vanny just dangling in the light above you.
Am I still on the rope or have I hit the ground?
You're still on the rope. You're about 30 meters below.
If I look down, can I see Tig?
You have night vision, right? Yeah, you can.
I'm just waiting.
Liam's gonna call out to Tig and say, Tig, get ready to catch.
Catch with good arm.
Catch with best arm, I hope.
Okay.
Catch ankle fin.
Catch Vanny.
Okay.
And maybe
Good
April Fit.
arm.
I resent that.
Okay, so
She's just having a giggle.
you might be able to hear this sort of slight tinny echo from up the top, guys. But if you're at the bottom, it's a bit hard to hear Aethelfin, or Tig to hear Aethelfin. So Vanny, make one more roll for me. Oh my lord, child.
Oh no.
No!
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so she reaches for the rope as your grip slips, and you just make a quick acro to catch yourself,
Okay.
and
Me?
Liam, make an acro to dodge the falling body.
It's that real Hans Gruber end of Die Hard thing where it
Wait,
slowly
acro-
falling,
do I do
looking
acro?
up.
Yep, you both do. Yep.
Okay. So Echo's Dex again, yeah?
Yep.
I mean, that was a good roll.
Okay, so this is what happens. Vanny falls, collides with Liam's shoulder, knocks Liam from the rope, catches the rope, catches Liam. You rolled a really high roll, so I'm allowing you to stop him from falling as well. And you're just like,
Thank you.
I'm sorry, catch. He's like sitting there, and you're not very strong, so this is like pulling at you across your shoulders and joints. You're not feeling particularly good, but Tigger is ready to catch if he should fall.
In the panic of being about to fall, Liam like sort of snaps up to looking upwards, and there's a hint of like crimson in his eyes and dark flames instead of light shrouding his horns, and then they quickly fade as he realizes he's been caught.
Alright. You guys can make it down without too much hassle now. It was just a bit tense for a moment.
So
When they
Aethelfin's
get
up the
back-
top still, right?
Yeah, Aethelfin, how are you getting down?
I will get down shortly, but I'm going to turn to the young guide and I'm going to say to him, "You see that man in the other room? The one we were looking at earlier?
Mm-hmm.
How about I give you an additional feather to take care of him in a very final way?"
You know I'm not an assassin, right? I'm a guide.
I know, but look, I'll be honest with you. What he's been working with, I've seen it once before, and it destroyed large parts of. Actually, this is Rhodesia, isn't it? The
Yeah.
other town was
Corinth.
Corinth. It destroyed large parts of Corinth. It's best you take care of him now before he gets too out of control. I didn't when I had the opportunity, and I regret that. But now you have an opportunity to prevent the destruction of your home and make a little coin out of it at the same time. Think you're up to it?
I think what you're asking is more than a feather, but we'll discuss that later. Go on. I haven't got the time to make sure he
Right.
doesn't come in and you get down there safely.
Just think about it. Your future might be at stake here as well. And with that, he'll attempt to gallantly make his way down and probably fail terribly.
Yep. Go on.
Is this an acro check?
No, it's an athletics check at advantage. Well, yeah, athletics check at advantage.
14. No, sorry, 11.
11.
Ah!
No. You sort of go down and you're sort of watching as he has to. He's not really good climber, so he lets go, catches. He's got it wrapped around the rope wrapped around his legs as well. He's letting go, catching. Take about. You know what? I'll roll for it.
Takes
Take
weight as well,
3
actually,
points of
before.
damage just from the rope burns, clattering off the side, getting sort of knocked around. You're not like the other. You're not like Vanny, who's used to sort of like a bit of hard knocks. You're a bit more gentle.
No, it is a hard knock life.
When you get down the bottom, or when you hit this guy, when you're about 10 meters from the bottom, you hear the guy at the top be like, "Are you down yet? Did you make it?"
Am I almost at the bottom? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you're about 10 meters.
Just a moment.
Alright, let me know
And,
when.
Yeah. All right. He gets down to the bottom and he goes, "When?"
Alright. And then you just hear this as you hear something falling down the shaft.
I step out of the way.
A body hits the floor and just splits open.
Is it the old man?
It is the old man.
I'm gonna kill that kid.
Well,
Liam says
I'll
that
be
in
ready.
character.
What
Don't know why I expected anything different. to be honest.
Out of character, just to clarify, the old man was the one we saw, right? Because my mind just
No,
got
the
really.
old man was the man dealing with the papers, the one that Liam sent to sleep.
Yeah,
in the
but
other
was the
room.
old man the one that made the globe?
No,
Okay.
No,
two
that was
different people.
I got really confused, so I was
That's
like,
okay.
huh?
That's cool.
Am I
Alright.
painted? Have I been painted?
You have a little bit, but not a whole lot. I don't think it was a blood fountain, but it was not pretty.
Blood.
Can
I'm
I
gonna turn around.
go over to this body, and if there's any like cloths or leathers or anything like that, I like to scavenge them basically.
You like to what?
Hey,
I'd like to scavenge them. I want to take any cloths or leathers I can see on this guy and
There's-
wrap them around
he was just-
his arm.
It was just in like clerical robes.
All right, well, I'll grab the thickest thing that I can find and just wrap it around arm.
Okay.
hey, what do you think you're doing?
Said burns. Arm. Best friend. Can't lose arm.
But
Gone.
Well-
Can't waste.
if you cover it in cloth, it'll just burn faster. But putting that aside, you have to have respect for the dead, you know?
He dead. He can't use.
It's our way.
Live longer.
As wild elves, and I motion to myself and Tig. As wild elves, it's our way of showing respect for the dead. That's what we do.
Yeah, Tig's kind of looking at Liam, just like, don't you understand? She's kind of just like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Liam just sort of stands there watching, like, and his eyes keep shifting between the two wild elves and the body, and just watching what's happening.
I think Aethelfin sort of just comes over, wiping his face, and just sort of like takes Liam by the shoulder and turns him around and walks over to Vanny. And then he looks over at Vanny and like nods.
So, what you find on the guy is some robes, a small stoppered vial of ink, a few quills, a very small hammer and chisel set, which is like which like all guild members sort of tend to have on them. But that's about it.
Yep.
The chisel could be used as a dagger, but any rolls of 1 or 20 will cause it to break. Between you can split that up how you want to, since the wild elves would take every part of this person to be used. In fact, Tig, do you remember what you usually do with dead bodies?
Yes, she normally puts them in a bag and cooks them later.
Are you going to start cutting this person up for later?
Pretty much. I'm sorry, but this is like her base instinct right now.
I'm
guys.
gonna like put my hand on Tig and just go, no, not now. Leave.
So-
leave.
Tig's like just like got dug her fingers in, the clawed fingers into the thigh to like get, thigh fillet for later. And as it's sunken in, you're like, no. So that's probably where it stopped. And it's up to you if you want to go any further than this. You can tear out chunks to keep for later, or you can stop.
Right.
I'm gonna sort of just look over to Vanny and Liam for a hint on what to do here, because Tig's kind of just ready to go. It's like, yeah, this is normal.
You see her with her long, mithril-coated wooden tree fingers, which are a bit longer than regular fingers, and they're buried to the second knuckle in this person's thigh flesh.
I just do this to Tig.
Thumbs up. All right.
Thumbs up. And she looks over at Nisa. It's like, it's
Just to see Aethelfin like,
Wait, does Tig actually have a backpack?
No, but she's just like,
yes,
oh yeah, you do have a backpack full of supplies, just not a magical
yes,
one.
she does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at Tig and just shake my head and go, do you want the supplies we have to get bloody? And gross? Like my backpack did? And I sort of try and jog her memory of the last time she put bodies in a backpack.
You waste food?
Liam rips a piece off of his cloak.
No,
And
but
you-
I don't want supplies getting dirty on this mission. If he's still here when we come back, you can grab him on the way back up.
While all this is happening, I want to talk to Liam and just be like, this is the wild elf way. Anything that's dead can be used for food. It's important for them to prolong their life in ways to respect the life, because I can realize that he's like troubled by this whole situation.
Liam's
I
still
think by now Tig probably would have like drawn the claws out, so just gone, okay, and just left it.
Liam, still looking a bit conflicted, is going to tear like a square off of his cloak and using some rope fashion like a really basic burlap sack, and just toss that over to Tig next to the body, and then turn around.
Yeah, and while the
Aw.
conversation and all this has been happening, Ethelfin has gotten that black bag he asked for before and is going to try to put it over Liam's head while he's distracted.
Okay.
I need a roll for that thing?
Yes. First of all, it's going to be stealth versus perception. And then, after that, it'll be opposed checks. Of another sort, I should say. Not just because you're already doing opposed
Yep.
checks.
He's ready for
Black bag
oblivious Liam
times-
perception.
Oh
I'm
shit,
so
that's
out
a
of it.
10 for stealth. God, can you expect for a one-armed man?
Dun, da-da, 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 da- Holy
Ta-da.
shit.
Very
Oh my
nice.
god!
Liam, roll me another perception check about something different.
There you go.
Alright, so as you're sitting there and listening to Shide, you sort of think, why can I smell hydrochloric acid? And then everything goes black for a moment as a bag goes over your head. Or effectively acid. You can smell acid. Hydrochloric might be a bit too advanced for fantasy world.
Oh god, I thought that bag was empty. Have I just acid bathed Liam?
No.
Oh,
So
thank goodness.
it goes over his head. Now, it's an opposed
Yeah.
strength check. Or, well, it's athletics check between, Liam and, Aethelfin.
Sure. Alright.
Opposed athletics.
3.
If things get a little hairy, I'm assuming I can see this.
Yeah, you can all see this, and you all heard it, because I'm assuming Liam's not just like, I will remain completely calm and not make a sound. There's most likely a variation on what the
I
fuck.
can't believe it! That was amazing! Oh, hello there!
Okay, Liam, do you say anything as this happens?
As the bag goes over his head, he's confused, and then he just sort of struggles. Like, hey, what?
Ethan's like, now Vanny, sucker punch him or something.
Can I, like, step in?
What?
Please?
We need to interrogate him. We need to find out what he's up to.
No. You let him go.
I walk up to Aethelfin and I'm like, move. I remove the black bag.
I don't
This was
think
not what we-
I don't think he's gonna let you. I get the feeling that if he was holding the bag, are you gonna just let go of it? Like, let me just understand this. If he says for you to move, you're just gonna step back and let go of the bag.
No, if she's like step back, he would probably start to hand like the cords to her, thinking that she's probably done something like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming she's going to make the gesture to start removing it, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
This
If
is
I
not the
see-
proper way to get information. I just remove it.
Okay, so hold up a sec, guys. When you're doing stuff that's like effectively player versus player, you can't just effectively invalidate what someone's done by saying you do the opposite. You have to either discuss
shit,
it or
yeah.
do rolls. Otherwise, there's no point.
I think that
Oh,
if she's
shit,
like,
yeah,
this is
sorry.
not the way. I think this is if she said like, this is not the way you get information. He's gonna have like this really perplexed look on his face as she pulls it away, and he's going to make a half-hearted attempt to stop it, but it will not continue. And he's like, "Well, how are we supposed to interrogate him then?"
You could just ask me questions as Leo turns to look at Aethelfin.
You turn to look
All
at
right
him.
then.
Your horns start to snag and twist the black bag.
Well, look, for a start, I'm pretty certain you're working for this councilman. I find it entirely too coincidental that you just happen to be in the room when we happen to need a guide, when we happen to have to go and do some off-books things.
For the
explain yourself.
councilman? I'm working against the councilman. I'm only here to figure out what the hell it is he's doing so I can report to my master.
Liam, what's the
now-
last
so
one?
you said
do have
first
a-
tagged,
right? Like I try to like get the bags off like properly.
You hadn't completely taken around. It sort of twisted a bit. If you wanna take it off now, and if Aethelfin's not gonna stop it, then yes, it can come off.
I want to like open it up.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, this area, anyone that can cast spells, they drop their highest spell level by 2. So if you can cast at level 3, usually you can cast at level 1 in here. Alright.
Okay.
You can feel magic being suppressed.
Explain yourself.
I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm here to do a job. The same job, in fact, that you're here to do, and we're only here to do that and nothing more.
I
Yeah.
go to Liam and I go stand in between them and I look at Liam and I'm like, I'm sorry this happened, and I look to Aethelfin. Right now, our lives could be at risk. This is not the time to turn against each other.
Liam is just going to like gently reach up and try and put a hand on Vani's shoulder as if to ask her to move out of the way.
I'm gonna yell at everyone. Obviously not Tig, because she's actually kind of just standing in the corner, but I'm going to yell, Oi! We came down here for a mission, which you, Aethelfin, by the way, were the one that sent us down here, so you're going to you're just gonna deal with it? We're gonna deal with this later, and we're gonna do this fucking mission now, because you're the one that made us come down here, so can we please?
Fine. And he looks at them and goes, but I'm watching you.
Hey, listen, you had your chance, and now that you don't have access to the same kind of magic that I do, and I know that for a fact, plus you have no visible weapon besides a crossbow, which I gave you, and I know what it can do, and more importantly, what it can't do, plus your special toy is upstairs, you won't do anything to me down here. You missed your chance, peasant elf.
No one will be doing anything to anyone, to each other down here. We're going to do this mission, and then we're going to go back up, and we'll sort everything out then.
There is a sneer and then that whole walk away thing.
You turn as a liquid blackness rises up from the floor and just collapses over you.
Ah!
Everyone roll initiative.
I was gonna say, does he know where he's going?
No. You guys made a whole lot of noise though. It was great.
Yeah,
I just
thanks for
crit
that.
my initiative, 24.
Fortunately. It's not going to make too much difference
My
for you.
initiative is +2, so can you please roll for me?
I can. So we go. Boop. Oh no. So we got 24 from Ethel. This is at 5 plus what? Or is there any bonuses to that? Yes?
What am I supposed to plus it with?
Your dex.
Your initiative.
Oh, my initiative is +3 and my dex is +4, so whichever one I'm supposed to add that to.
Okay, so
If your dex is +4, your initiative should be +4.
Unless she's
Really?
proficient in it.
Oh yeah.
Liam. Alright, so it's 18 for Liam.
Yeah.
Next would be 11 for Chad. You got 9 for this. And a total of 4 for Tig, who's still trying to understand why someone has a black bag. Let alone why it's on someone else's head.
Yeah,
Even though it's off by now.
She doesn't get it. She's just been tearing chunks of flesh and putting them in a little knapsack, like a little knapsack. So she's
And for
kinda
this
confused
thing-
why there's a black bag anywhere involved.
And I believe Cass is first with the crit.
No,
I am.
because
Thank you. No, I'm not.
there's the surprise round which is happening. I just want to know what everyone's initiative was. So, this creature's just gone. Num 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 num. And you take.
I don't get it. I don't get a chance to do a save or anything.
That's adorable. You probably just walked right into its open mouth. It was just sitting there waiting.
Pretty much, it was
And you
like
probably just walked in and it's just gone,
creeping, because indistinguishable from its surroundings
Oh,
in the
but-
dark as a liquid in a dripping wet cave thing, and it's just been like.
I just I don't get a save. It's cool.
no.
Good.
I feel like
Okay.
this is that toothpaste ad. With the lip tint.
Just making sure I understand what this is. Cool. Alright. Its attacks on you. It makes. Oh my god, why am I rolling so badly? In addition.
Thank you
one of
for
those
rolling
hits.
so badly.
I know. In addition, non-magical armor worn by the target is partly dissolved and takes permanent and cumulative -1 penalty to AC. The armor is destroyed if that penalty reaches its AC to 10. Cool. Good to know.
So I've got started leather, so that'd be an 11 AC now, I guess.
I
or
didn't even hit you.
used to 11.
It's got up and it's trying to like pull you down. So because its attack is literally it like smothering you. So you're finding yourself wrapped in this and you can feel it burning, but it hasn't done any damage yet. As you pull away, you know, imagine the scene from Spider-Man 3 with Venom, like wrapping up. Yeah, just that all over you.
Ooh, that's cool.
Just as like a technical question, would this be considered a melee attack?
Yes. At the
16 does beat my AC, though. You do realize that, right?
I rolled a 2.
So what was the 16 for? Initiative or something?
Yeah. And then it goes
Okay,
back to the actual combat round. That's alright. I'll tell you when I miss. Or when I hit.
Oh, good.
So, at the
I'm
same
glad
moment,
you didn't hit me. I'm
you
just
hear,
like,
at the same
gotta be
moment,
fair.
you hear the sound of wet thuds falling from the roof, and you can't, even though, like, you can source roughly where they're at, but not entirely sure. You hear this, like, liquid movement along the floor in a few places. Alright, so it is now your turn, Aethelfin.
I will attempt to extricate myself from the black ooze.
Go for it.
What do I roll?
You can move away. You'll get an attack bot.
I'll
didn't-
disengage
didn't
then.
Try to grapple you. I tried to like hit. It's just this gross sucking thing. Yep, go for it. So you move back. Your full distance
Yep,
will lead you to the outer
and,
wall. When you disengage from a target, you don't
yeah,
take
so
attacks of
I'm
op
gonna-
at that. But anything else you pass by, do you take attacks of op from?
Mechanically, what disengage does is it treats the first square you move out of as non-provoking, and the rest are.
Okay. You're in a pretty small
Yeah.
area. There's a couple doors leading out. You can disengage towards one of the doors, or you can just like try to get to the back wall, knowing there's nothing going to be behind you.
I think he probably would. He would back away to the group. So, if they're near the wall, if they're near the door, great.
You're in
if
the- you're
not,
in the
he'd be
center.
stumbling backwards.
Okay.
Okay.
You stumble backwards into Vanny. You sort of like bump into her back. And as you do, you hear like this wet, squelching noise under your foot, and you look down to this small grey, ooze wrapping around your foot. Alright,
Alright.
next line
I
is
freak out a little bit.
Liam.
Roughly where is everyone in relation to Liam? And are there any creatures nearby?
You're pretty much in a circle, I'd imagine, at this point. You have next to you will be Tig on one side and Vanny on the other, with the other two effectively behind you. And which means you're not looking at, unless you were looking at Aethelfin as this all happened, or did you turn when you heard things splashing down around you?
He's just doing like a quick look around to get a vague idea of where everything is.
Okay. Roll a real quick perception check. Okay. What I'll do is do this. Boop. I said boop. Well, that's lucky. Yeah. So, you notice on the floor a yellow sort of blob slowly creeping up over a rock and flowing towards you.
And how many other living blobs do we know of?
You know that there's the one that attacked Aethelfin, and you heard at least 4 sounds splash down.
Is it possible for Liam to move into the center of the group without bumping into any of these creatures?
If you take a single step back, yes.
Alright, Liam's gonna take a single step back, quickly reach for the parchment that that Vani gave him, and he's gonna cast Bless. So he's going to put his hand firmly on the paper, and it's going to like light up, and all of the writings Vani's put on it will turn like a sort of golden hue, and he'll just push the paper into the mud straight down, and then some of those runes will just spring up out of the ground and start surrounding Vani, Tig, and Nisa.
Okay. As that happens, you yeah, it's alright. That'll happen just like that. That's cool. I had a thought. I left it alone. Yeah?
Mechanically, that means that for the next minute, the 3 of you get to add D4 to your attacks and saving throws.
Okay. Shahid,
Hello?
I'm gonna let you go now.
Oh damn! So I see the fact that they're large groups, so I'm assuming that actually slashing them with a sword wouldn't be that much useful. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I see anything on the floor that I could like just toss at it and see what it does?
There's pieces of a person that fell recently from a pipe. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a piece of the person and just kind of like toss it like as fast as I can into like into the big goop.
So you're gonna make an improvised ranged attack, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay. Roll a d20.
Oh, it would be like the attack, right? So plus
Yeah.
dex plus. Okay, so plus 7, so that would be 18.
Okay. It hits the goop, and you just sort of watch, because you've leant down and you've just sort of like grabbed at the guy's wrist and pulled, and because he sort of like had been damaged, part of him just sort of like tears away, and you kind of just like throw an arm at this thing, and you watch it hit and then start to bubble, and the skin just runs off, and as it passes over, all that's left is a gleaming skeletal like forearm behind the black liquid as it moves towards you.
I look toward them and say, I think we need to run.
Yep, okay. That's your entire attack?
Yeah, that's my entire. I try to like. How close is it to me?
It's 10 feet away.
I move back.
Alright.
Slightly.
Okay, that's fine. As you step back, it rises up again and crashes down on Aethelfin once more. Aethelfin, roll a wait, I'll roll an attack. That's right, I just remember how these rules work. So bad at attacks!
Why are you so good at D&D? Just so good.
God damn it. Alright, so it's sort of gone up and it's like splashed onto you, and just it's sort of like around your knees and ankles. It hasn't got a firm grip. You can quite easily step out of it. That puts it at Nisa's turn. Go for it.
I'm going to attempt to shoot it with the arrow. Fingers crossed that it doesn't go straight through.
Yep, go for it. Roll to hit.
Yeah, no. I was just making sure I had everything open so I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay. Alright, so you make your attack. And it just like slices into the goo. How much damage can you do? Go. Roll damage.
I got another. Do I add the D4 to that?
For the lightning? No.
No, I don't have lightning. I'm not using the lightning. No,
Okay.
I'm saying because of what Liam did.
For attack rolls, not damage, right?
Okay, right. Then man.
Yeah.
Alright, so slice into it, you see the metal arrowhead sort of like go through and take a chunk out, but the wooden shaft just had like disappeared inside it, being corroded away. Tig.
I'm just gonna. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
No, you can say something if you want to. Go for it now.
I'm just gonna yell, "Metal works!" Hit it with metal stuff, not wood.
You can all smell this horrible acidic stench coming off it.
We need a base. Does anyone have any base?
Tig. Your turn.
With my left hand, like my normal arm,
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach into the waist of the fabric that I wear and pull out the gold feather and try and use it as a dagger, improvised dagger,
Okay.
and use my right arm for slashing.
Okay, so you want to make an attack with which one first?
I'll go left and then right
So
arm.
Dagger,
slash.
then your unarmed attack, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Roll attack.
That's great. Can you roll on the keys?
Yep.
My +7.
So
Don't
right.
forget the extra D4.
Yep. She hit anyway. You haven't raised yet, have you?
No,
Okay.
but I would like to rage, please.
I see your bonus action, I believe. All right. Cool. So, what's your bonus to damage?
Bonus to damage.
Mm-hmm. Should be 4 plus 2, 6.
Where
Right,
is
sorry, I got it.
4,
6.
yeah, Dex and 6.
So it's D4, so 10 damage. And then with your other arm, take a swing, hit again. 5 plus 7 plus 2. Oh my god, Tig, calm the fuck down. Alright, 24 points of damage total. However, as you hit it, you take 10 points of acid damage as it splashes across you from you, like as the black droplets just cover you. And on top of that, you can now smell and you can see like wisps of chemical coming off the dagger as it starts to
sorry.
slowly bubble.
Just to clarify, because Tig is raging, that means she's resistant to this kind of damage?
Yep. How much are you resistant by, Tig?
Damage resistance halves the value.
Yep. Cool.
Yes.
Ah, that's right.
Damage
That's alright. I'm
reduction
having
stat.
some edition crossover though. Yep. Cool.
Alright.
We'll just make
So that's
So
only 5
5
damage.
points damage.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That goes back up to Aethelfin's turn.
Yes. Okay. Well, given that, and I apologize, I had to step away. I had to make a very quick phone call. Can I just get a very, very quick? Someone said something on the. I believe Nisa said something about metal being effective against them.
Yeah, I shot an arrow at it, and the wood kind of just disappeared, but the metal kind of struck it and like took a little chunk out. So.
Right. Okay. He's going to take his hammer.
Aethelfin, if you
Yes.
look at, you would have been here to watch that happen. The metal is smoking.
Yeah. That's fine.
Wait,
So
wait.
he's currently sorry. Just and I do realize this is my fault because I had to step away and it was unavoidable. But as I understand it, the thing has got itself around my leg.
No, there's a grey one around your leg and a black one. Well, there is actually, yeah. There's a grey one sort of around your foot, and then on top of that is the black one, the bigger one.
Right. Okay. And they haven't grappled me. They're just I could very easily disengage and get away
They're
from them.
failing to grapple you repeatedly, yes.
Yeah. All right. I am going to, and Tig's basically right next to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to strategically retreat behind her, using another disengage action, and I'm going to, hopefully as a free action, start rummaging around in my Dungeoneer's pack for something that could be a base that I could use to maybe neutralize the acid.
Okay.
Probably not a heap in there that could do that, but I'm going to be like frantically looking for something like
Okay.
I could use.
Liam, it's your turn.
Are there any of these slimes not particularly close to the party, but that are getting closer?
Yeah,
Like sort of mid-range?
there's another yellow and another grey moving up. Now that they're a bit closer and you sort of know what you're looking for, you can spot them and be like, oh shit, they're about 15 feet away. There are sort of... They hit the floor and like reformed over the course of a turn, and then they've sort of like now started moving towards you.
How fast are they moving?
Not very. They'll be on you next turn, but they seem to be quite sluggish.
Liam's gonna peek behind him, and if there's no like obvious slimes behind, he's gonna take another couple of steps back, and then he's gonna pick the closest yellow one, and he's just going to reach out with his glove and then close a fist. His horns will ignite in flame, and then that fire will just be almost at like a reflection, surround the flame and close in on it, and I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Alright, nice. So... How much damage does it do?
It takes a dex save against DC 16. If it passes, it takes no damage. If it fails, it takes 2d8.
No, it's never going to pass with its -3 dex.
Oh.
Oh, did you sympathize the stupid slime?
It's a
that's-
floppy, stupid slime.
If it's not immune and it's not damage resistant, it'll take 15 fire damage. Or radiant damage, however you prefer to flavor it.
Yeah, this like white hot fire surrounds it, and it just sort of sits there, and you hear this like bubbling pop as its mass actually like visibly decreases as it's burnt away.
And the flames just sort of like immediately pop off of his horns, and he turns to the party looking almost surprised. Try fire. It seems to work.
Yeah, I'm going to continue rummaging around, but this time for tinder and a torch.
I took that the wrong way when you first said Tinder. Alright. The
Let me just check my Tinder profile. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be Grinder for Aethelfin?
Oh my!
Alright.
Technically, I think there's got to be like an asexual dating app as well. I'll look at it, but yeah.
Alright, so the
Hang on.
The
in my area that want to date me.
the black creature once again moves forward and tries to just envelop. It'll now be Vanny, who's slightly ahead of Tig. What's your AC, Vanny?
This is a melee attack, right?
Yes.
19.
Do you get +1 AC to all melee attacks, or is it a melee attack when you're in single combat? How does it work?
Wait, let me check.
Make sure. I just want to know, just for understanding your mechanics. And while that one happens, the Grey Ooze is going to attack T. Oh, why did I? Okay, yeah, you can't dodge that, unfortunately. Oh, it's just got baby damage. Alright. Okay, you take
Cute little baby.
3
Little baby
plus
slime.
another. You take 5 points of damage, half of which is bludgeoning of the force of it hitting you, and the other half is acidic.
It's any melee attack, as long as I'm wielding my sword.
Which you would not be, because you just picked up someone's arm and threw it. You hadn't drawn it. You hadn't specified anything.
Oh right, yes, sorry. Okay, then it would be 16.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you are hit. And can I get you to make a athletics check, please?
Me?
No. Vanny.
Athletics?
Yep.
$23.
But you said your athletics was bad.
It sounded so smart.
Oh shit! Athletics, right? I did acrobatics. It
So
would be
16. Take what?
It would be 14.
Okay, I was gonna say, holy shit! How did you manage to fall down that fucking shaft? Okay.
No, 14.
You are just completely enveloped and constricted by this creature as it slowly just drags you into its mass. And now that's raised up around you, you can see that it's a lot bigger and it feels a lot heavier than you expected. You thought it was just like this liquid. It's thick tar-like goo that is, and you can feel it melting your skin. On top of that, your weapon. Sorry, that's wrong. Your armor. Are you wearing your armor or the other armor you found?
The other armor I found.
Okay.
Because my armor is still in the dungeon back at like fucking that other place.
Yep, that's completely fine then.
Correct.
Okay. Then nothing happens to the armor. Yep, cool. It is. That was that, and the yellow goo is gonna go and give a bamboozle to Nisa. What's your AC? Tell me it's lower than 20, please.
16.
You take. Boop, boop. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid damage. Okay. Alright, it goes to Chaya's turn now. This creature, by the way, Nissa, just sort of like, it was sitting there moving slowly and then just sort of sprung up the floor to wrap around your thigh, and you can just feel any cloth there immediately start to tear off as it's just melted straight through the fabric.
Okay, so I'm holding my breath because I'm inside, and I try to crawl like out of it, and like also looking towards Tig because I know out of everyone she would be the only one with enough power to kind of just be like, boop.
All right, make a acrobatics. Not acrobatics, sorry, athletics.
No, acrobatics.
That's so mean.
Okay.
No.
You try to reach your hand forward and you just feel it get sucked back in against your will. That's your entire turn. You're struggling. Since you said you're holding your breath, you have... what's your constitution?
12.
12? Alright, cool. You have 6 turns before you have to start breathing regardless.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. It is Nisa's turn. You've got a ooze wrapped around your thigh.
I'm gonna grab 2 of the arrows out of my bag. I'm going to snap off the ends, and I'm going to start rubbing them together to make fire, in hopes that I can make fire, and then blow it onto the slime to see if it will work.
You can make the fire this turn, like you can start it up, right? But it's a very, very small tinder. If you want to, you can either spend this turn and next one making a fire, or you can do a check this turn to see if you can get it done fast.
I'll do a check to see if I can get it done fast. What check do you want?
Understand that if the check fails, it'll effectively reset it back to 0, right? That nothing actually happened, it didn't even catch.
Yep.
For you, be survival. This music is not well themed for this.
10.
That's unfortunate. You sort of sit there, you rub it together, it starts to spark up, and you quickly grab a piece of spare cloth, and as you hold it to it, the quick motion just like sort of puts it out. It blows out. Tig. The dagger in your hand looks very discolored, but your arm feels fine. It's a little tingly.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna just ditch the feather. It's not gonna do me any good.
You watch it hit the wall and just sort of like crumple and bend. It's become very fragile.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go forward to the one that's got Vanny. I'm assuming that's the one that's basically right in front of me now, isn't it? Because she was right next to me.
There's one in front of you fighting you. There's yellow one, and then there's the one that's sort of like, and then there's her just in front to the side, wrapped up on the floor in a black ooze.
Okay. I'll attack the one that's right in front of me. Try and get that one out of the way. I will slash at it with arm.
I'm assuming you're gonna do that twice.
And I would also but I would also like to use my great weapon mastery and choose to take -5 to hit. If it hits, I add +10 to damage.
That ain't bad.
I'll allow it. Okay. AC. If it's AC of 8, you hit. Twice.
Good stuff.
Do you gotta do it per attack? Or is it all attacks this turn or just one attack?
I believe it's only on the first attack. Sorry.
Okay. If anyone wants to clarify while we roll the damage, yeah, that'd be great. So we've got D8 plus, so it's 3 plus 7 plus 10 goes straight to 20 frag damage. And then 7 plus 7 is 4.
Oh, that was reckless attack, correct?
Yeah.
That's just advantage on melee weapon
No,
attacks.
sorry.
during my turn.
Great weapon
No.
mastery.
I am less sure about that.
Hold up 1 second then. I've got the book here. I was hoping it'd be done before I got to it's a feat. For those of you that don't know,
Try and listen to.
people tend to I try to have my players know their feats so they don't have to check it to make sure in the middle of the game because it's out of touch. So what I want you to do is after you read this, you write it down in your little notepad and then change it in your sheet. On your turn, when you
I've got it right in here.
It just says you can choose.
Yeah, I'm trying to read it out, so wait. Before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you are proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack roll. If the attack hits, you add +10 to the attack damage. So you can do that on both. Alright?
Okay then, so I'll write that down.
Alright. So, you watch as Tig sort of like yells wordlessly and punches down into this creature twice. And the first one makes a wet squelch and her fist goes into it. And as she pulls out, yellow ooze just sprays up into the air. And with the second one, it just sort of explodes and splashes outwards and does not reform. However, Tig...
Splash damage.
No, actually, you're fine. You're fine. Whatever. Yeah, cool. All right. It is destroyed. Aethel,
Executed with impunity. Yes.
your turn.
Right. So I've fished out a torch and tinder from my satchel, and I'm going to. And what I guess that I see Tig destroy these oozes, and then I see Vanny, and then I make this decision. I'm going to use a free action to strike the torch so it lights, and then I'm going to plunge the torch into the ooze where Vanny is, burn it on the way through, and then hopefully provide enough of something for her to grab onto that I can pull her out. Is that possible within the turn?
You can attempt it. Not promising it's going to work.
No, that's fine. All right, so I do
Wait,
that.
Did you say torch?
Yes, I have torches.
I'm pretty sure that dude took our torches away from us, saying that we weren't allowed to have light down here.
He said no fire.
He said
Yeah.
the entire place is filled
I
with
have
gas
dungeon
and
in
fire
that.
might
Alright, have
cause
torches.
exploding.
Well, I mean, we can say that I don't have any. That's fine.
No,
I
you have a dungeon
I
use pack.
spit out taking a dungeon use pack.
If you want to do it,
Yeah.
it's up to you. They are just telling you what was told about your actual torches
Yeah.
that you had. So make a decision and go with it.
All good. I'm gonna do the thing I said and kill us all. Apparently.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, I strike the tinder.
Yep.
Actually, I mean, being an artificer, I would know if this atmosphere was likely to ignite if I did that. Yeah.
Are you
Just the
no,
smell
you're,
in the
you're
air.
An,
I mean,
you're
I
an
can smell it.
artificer, not a chemist.
Yeah, but I would have had to have some knowledge of chemicals in
Tell you
the
what.
creation of my artifice.
What knowledges do you have?
I believe I have just knowledge as a skill. I don't believe we get specific
All right,
knowledge.
make a knowledge roll.
I think that's just a flat intelligence check, to be honest with you, because I don't
Then go
know
for
if
it.
there's anything. Unless, all right, that is a 12.
No, seems fine.
Cool. Strike it.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'm going to try and burn the ooze and give Vanny a handle hold to pull through.
You strike the match, and you watch as a blue flame expands through the air slowly. You can spend the rest of your turn trying to put it out, or you can continue with your action.
I'm going to continue with my action and place it into the ooze. Hopefully that'll snuff it out.
Okay. Roll a attack.
Cool. All right.
Hey, Pipes.
Just an unarmed attack? Or
The bless is still here, right?
Yep.
Cool. So that's a 12.
12 hit. Okay.
Excuse me.
It hits Vanny. You can't grab onto it this turn, but in your turn you can use it to try to pull yourself out if you succeed on a check. Alright?
Okay.
However, there's something that's about to happen as all of you who aren't looking at Vanny just watch as a blue light reflects off the walls. And Tiku is planet if like next to Fanny, just sort of ooh,
Yeah.
pretty colours in the air.
doesn't know
And
what
then there's a
this is.
hollow thump as a gas pocket ignites. So, can I get a strength check from you, Castellan?
Sure. That's a 14.
Okay, you stay on your feet and you take 7 points of fire damage.
Oh boy, my favorite kind.
You're so lucky before, by the way, with the Sacred Flame. Just decided. Yeah, anyways. It was lucky we decided that your stuff was radiant a long time ago, and I was just like, oh yeah. Well, it reminded me as soon as you said you can make it radiant, I was like, yeah. But anyways, yep. So you like stay on your feet, you grit your teeth. You're missing it. You've turned your face aside, and you know you're missing an eyebrow on one side now, maybe a bit of hair, but you're good.
Yeah. Cool.
Liam, behind you.
Did it affect the this slime that I've just done this
Yeah.
next to?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Do me a favor, roll a d6 damage on the slime.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, baby. 6.
Is the slime also affected by the damage from the explosion?
Yeah, it is. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, that's all. And now you have a torch to grab. Lenny?
Cool. Yeah, Liam, it's your turn, and you just watched as a blue light was reflected all around. You can now see these things very clearly on the floor where they are and the paths they're taking. Well, there's a whole thump, and the light goes out, and you feel like this like wind blow against you as you like take a step forward from it. And you know that someone's lit a torch behind you after being told not to take torches down here, and there's been an explosion.
Well, if there's just been an explosion, that suggests to me that the buildup of gas has now ignited and exploded, and we don't really have to worry about it for a while, so I'm not going to do anything about the torch. Is the slime that I bipped still rolling around?
Yeah, it's squealing and popping and giving off a lot of gases.
They're made of the gas! And he's going to let everyone know that after the explosion. And he's not going to pop a different one, he's just going to continue bipping that one with another sacred flame.
Yep, so you just sit there and squeeze your hand tighter, and the fires get a little bit brighter. Roll some damage for me, please.
Is it bad that I tried to roll the damage in the stream?
No, it's fine.
Just a little bit.
I like it. No,
I
okay.
mean, if you willpower enough, it'll work.
So, you, it sits there, and you watch as it starts to, like, writhe around, it's flopping end over end, getting smaller and smaller. For flavor, if you want to spend a sorcery point to really will this, I'll let you just explode it and destroy it this turn.
No thank you, because
no problem.
sorcery points are far more valuable than that. Also, as my move, I'd like to make sure that I'm a little closer to Aethelfin. I want to be close enough that, like, if I turn around and sort of like reach out, I need to be able to touch him.
Yep, okay. That's all good. Okay, so it's taken. Alright. That makes it Slime's turn, Shad. I mean,
It's slime time.
okay. So, you take. Oh.
Oh yeah.
You take 4d8. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know I can roll them all together, but meh. So we got 12, 19, 20 points of acid damage. As you feel it just eat into you.
Thanks.
And it sort of starts to drag you away a little bit, and you can feel yourself getting pulled away. I'll allow you to step forward, Aethelfin, and keep pace with the thing in it. I don't want to invalidate what you've done there, but it's trying to sort of like take him to a place to just to finish enjoying his meal.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Actually, I had a question. I just realized this. Like, so me applying even though there was like that woomph and there was damage obviously from the explosion, but the actual torch itself being applied to the slime, that did nothing.
No, it did something. I gave you d6 damage as opposed to like almost no damage.
Yeah, but that was what I meant. Like D6 damage from the fire being applied, but was there not also damage from the explosion, or was that was that all one?
If you'd paid attention, Liam asked that, and then I confirmed that.
Okay. All right.
So, anyways, the other ooze continues to attack Nisa, and it sort of just like sits there, and as the fabric tears from your pants, it just sort of like flops to the floor, and you watch as your the pant leg just slowly like gets like curls up and burns away to nothing as it is dissolved inside the ooze. And I'll go. And the last does nothing to you, Tig, because you're invulnerable. Okay. Now it is Shai's turn. You can make a athletics check to grab hold of that torch.
Another athletics check?
Uh-huh. Well, you're not gonna fucking backflip out of it, tell you that much.
Ah!
That's a loud sound.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
You just want to die, don't you?
Yeah. How many hit points you got left, Shad? 25? Okay. No, you're okay.
Surely I'm assisting though, right? I'm assisting with this check.
No, you're assisting.
So shouldn't they get advantage?
No, because you're not like... All you've done is hold your hand out. He can't actually grab it. Alright? So... Yeah, I mean, if you want to reach into the ooze yourself and like start ripping him out with your hands, that's a different story.
Oh, no, I'm not suicidal. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Nissa, it's your turn.
I am going to attempt to make the fire again, I guess.
Yep. Go for it.
8, so probably not.
Unfortunately, it feels like maybe the dampness in the room is making it kind of hard to do it. That wet, sticky, slimy, dungeon you're in is not exactly a good environment to try to start a fire naturally.
Musty.
Tig, what do you want to do? Roll.
Okay.
I don't know if you've got this as a player yet, but roll an intelligence check and I'll make sure Tig understands it. I know that's a hard ask for Tig's intelligence. What's her Of course I rolled a 20 for Tig's intelligence.
Wow!
Like I rolled a 20 for Tig's charisma last time.
Wow!
Tig is the bestest with the roll. Oh my god.
Your arm seems to be immune to the corrosive effect of these things.
Okay, I'm gonna reach forward and grab Vanny and pull her straight out of this goofy thing.
You reach in, and Vanny, on your next roll, you can either get... How about we say that, Tig, you make the roll at advantage instead of Vanny making the roll at advantage? Because it's just not going to work.
Yeah, we'll go with that. No.
It also sounds like that should be what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, Tig is acting like one of those, what do they call them? Like the machines that they have the claw that goes out and grabs the things.
Yeah. All right, so what's your... Okay, and its strength is... I'm like, your strength is 17. Its strength is 1. So, Vanny, with this just like... You get pulled out. Anything on you that is not your armor has been mostly melted away. And you are covered in patches of like... So like, your hair, parts of it are just falling out from the acid. Your clothes are like, have become like very frail and just like, if you pull them even slightly, just come apart. Everything is very damaged.
My sword.
Yeah, your sword has a few burnt notches in it.
Okay.
Aethelfin, it's your turn.
Yep. The moment
Sorry.
I see Tig remove
Yeah, it
Vanny.
is your
Okay.
is your turn. I have to make sure. I just looked down and reread it. Yep, cool. Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's your turn.
He's just going to let go of the torch and step back. And then I think he's going to He's going to rustle around in his pack again and pull out a thunderstone.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the state of the oozes around? Apart from the big one that we've just dealt with, have the other ones have been dispatched, or are there more coming?
The ones that are sort of like here, you don't seem to see any more coming. If you roll a perception check, you might get a bit more information.
We'll do a perception check then. That is a 12.
Okay, no. There's nothing else that you can see coming, and there's just the one exploded yellow ooze. The ooze that's being burnt by Liam Nava. And then there's the one that's messing with Nisa.
Nisa? Okay.
Oh, there's a big
he's
black
going
one,
to
but
take this.
you knew that one.
Yeah. Well, the one that Tig just removed Vanny from. He's going to like prime the thunder rock and then throw the explosive stone into it and see what that does.
Okay. There's a loud sort of like... Actually, no. There's a very muted sort of like... And you get the feeling if you'd thrown that against a wall while it was not inside an ooze, that would have been a very, very loud, almost deafening noise in this environment.
But the ooze has retained its structural integrity, I take it? It
Yes.
doesn't look worse for wear after that? Okay.
No.
He just said, well, I'm out of ideas. And then he starts turning to find the closest exit.
There are two exits. There's one behind the black ooze, and there's another one on the other side of the room.
He's going to say, let's stop mucking about the bloody oozes. Let's get out of here. And start to, like, collect. Basically, you know the thing where you sort of, like, usher or like, what's the word? Like, kind of, like, grab and collect people by the hand, etc., etc.
Yep.
Like, to the door. He's trying to, like, lead them away from this situation.
Okay. You guys sort of see him like hold out a hand and sort of like make a motion as they like move, let's go. And then it's Liam's turn.
If I ask a question, can another character reply in my turn?
I'll allow it. As long as it's not like, 40 seconds of conversation.
Liam's just gonna look over to Nisa and shout, Nisa, what do you think?
If I can get my foot out of this ooze, sure.
I'm going to Sacred Flame the ooze on her foot, since it's not fire damage, so it will not burn her.
Yep. Cheeky. Yep.
Has it made a save? Is it doing okay? Is it doing bad?
Whoops. It's not going to have a lot of fun with this. Their dex is quite low, so I just had forgotten to even roll for it.
Oh, misery damage. Liam is, as he's given the reply, he's just going to like shift his hand from the slime he's looking at over to the slime on Nisa's thigh, and rather than just like squeezing his hand shut, he instead makes like a sort of almost like a finger gun shape, and rather than the fire spreading from around the ooze and closing in, it just sort of shoots out in a straight white line, and then he just starts ducking back towards the exit, following along with Aethelfin.
So he points this like finger at the ooze, and this white line of fire hits it and sort of like breaks a part of its structure that is surrounding your foot. It is Black Ooze's turn, and it is not happy that its food has been taken, and it's gonna rear up once again, and this time try for the legs of Tig. Can I get a...
The choicest mates.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Can I get a athletics check, Tig? What's the... Oh, it's +7. Oh, God.
+7.
Of course I roll a 20, because it's Tig!
Oh my god!
Tig's
Roll 20 is officially rigged, guys. It's fucking rigged.
Yeah,
Okay.
implying.
Girl streamer percentage chance. That's how it works.
In any case, you do take a little bit of damage from its acid form, but with your damage reduction, it's gonna be fuck all. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
1 point of damage.
baby damage.
Sorry, 2 points of damage.
Ha, he's baby damage.
Now it's Chaya's turn, who is more or less back on his feet as Tig has just pulled him upright.
I look towards the door and I'm like, let's go. Let's go now. And I just kind of book it.
Yeah, okay. If you just run towards the door, you're gonna take 1 attack of what?
That's fine. I want to use evasive footwork to increase my AC.
Of course you do. You guys, all your mechanics that you can do. You see this like ooze just so like the very small one that Liam Nava have been burning to a cinder, just so like flops in your general direction but doesn't quite reach you. Chad, you exit the room and you see that there's a side tunnel and there is a half eaten body laying there. It's like the one shoulder and then down at an angle across to its hip. On one side is nothing but skeleton and the other side is like desiccated husk. You can see like something has just eaten only half of this thing's body, dissolved it down to nothing. It is Nisa's turn.
I'm gonna assume that the thing is not on my leg anymore.
You can make a little athletics check to take your foot out of it, and I'll give you an advantage because Liam's just gone pew and fucked it up. He's a little distracted.
20.
You don't even need that advantage. Yeah, it just sort of like recoils as it's sort of like writhing in what you'd imagine to be pain from the flame.
Can I well, or do I have to wait?
No, you can move.
Cool. I'm gonna fucking run towards where everybody else is going.
The one that's on the way sort of like flops in your direction. It actually hits you. It's not gonna grapple you. It's just gonna give you a bit of a sizzle. Damage is... Boop, boop. It is 7 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of acid damage. And you sort of like, as you're running, it sort of like knocks into your foot. You sort of got a little bit off course, maybe bounce off the wall as you go down the hallway, stopping just behind Vanny. Tig, you feel Chad tear his grip out of arms, well, grip. And there's a black ooze in front of you. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm still raging, so I'm going to very angrily attack it.
Okay.
So I'll do my 2 attacks again to slash at it.
Okay. Roll a wisdom check for me.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Wisdom is +2.
God damn it. Okay. So your attacks, are you using Great Weapon Master?
Yes, I would like to use that as well, please.
Okay, so 1 miss. Alright, your attacks both
And
miss.
also, quick question. Oh, well, I was going to say, is Bless not
wait.
still in effect, or is that past?
Still up.
Bless is still in effect, so it should be an extra d4 to each of the attacks.
5 goes. 5. That still misses. The second one. 11 take 5 is 6 plus 1. Against its armor class of 7, you hit. Alright, and you roll maximum damage, of course you fucking do. That goes 8 plus 7 to 15, 25 points of damage to this thing. Your fist sort of just goes into it and comes out, and as you've punched into it, you get this faint behind the rage in your mind. This like sort of soft, slow voice. I'll leave Tig. Don't want to die here. And you can just feel arm tingle a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna take the arms talking to me. I'm sort of going, okay. Oh no, yeah, okay, we go. Bye, and go run with everybody and try and make sure they all
Did
get
she
out
just
safe
say
and nothing
goodbye to-
follows us.
Yep.
Did she just bite goodbye to the
Yeah.
slimes?
Yeah, she's gonna just slash. We go. She was playing.
Okay. So Tig makes skull punches and then moves towards the door. Your AC is okay, so that's 1 hit. That's a miss. You take, I'm gonna do this right with this time. 4, 8 damage. Take 18 points of acid damage as you go to run as this thing sort of splashes across your back. Sorry, you take 9 points of acid damage from the after damage reduction. The oozes slowly start just like moving, but you see that they all stop at the door. They sort of just pull around the entrance. Also, Eighth from where are you? You heading with them?
Well, I imagine I've just... Yeah, I was leading the charge, I think, at that point.
Liam?
Yeah, I'm sticking quite close to Aethelfin.
Okay. As you enter the tunnel, you feel your magic just sort of go out. You can't cast it all in this tunnel. Alright. Alright, so that's been quite a long combat. Everyone feels, I imagine, quite worn down. Also, every time these things sort of make an attack, you smell like as corrosive gases are released from inside them, and they're eating up pieces of whatever is around them. You did like smell it entering the air. But they didn't chase you further than the entranceway to that particular chamber. They seem to be stopped, and they just don't go any further. It's very dark, but you all have dark vision, so it's not too much of a hindrance to you. It goes straight to another chamber, and there is a turn to the left. And as you guys stand at the fork trying to decide which way to go, we'll take a break.
I just want
Yeah.
just a quick thing. I want to take out my sword and kind of inspect it. Is this good to fight?
Yeah, you can fight with it. It's just a couple little bits of damage that definitely need to be worked out later.
Okay.
All right, everyone. I will be back in, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. Nisa, how late can you be on tonight? Because I know you usually have to be out of here by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I just realized we've been running for a few hours. Can we do an uptime check?
I can be. Wait, a what? After what?
I do it.
the uptime check tells us how
Yeah,
long this
2.5
will
hours.
last for.
Because usually we'd run to like 10 o'clock latest. But if we take a 10-minute break now, we're going to be only coming back for about 40 minutes. How late do you want to be here?
I can be here for a little bit longer. I'm assuming I can be here for as late as I want. Jack will probably just fall asleep. I'll probably have to close the windows and everything so that I don't wake up housemates. But yeah, I should be fine.
Okay, cool. Alright. Well, we'll take a short break. And hey, Paladin. And we'll be back very soon. Everyone wave bye as we be right back.
Bye.
Catch you guys. Be back soon.
Be back soon.